Daniel Carter had always been an unremarkable man. Quiet, solitary, and meticulous to a fault, he was the kind of person who could blend into a crowd without anyone noticing. No one suspected him of anything, and that was exactly how he wanted it. Across the street lived Mark Reynolds, a man whose life seemed like a mirror of success and arrogance. Wealthy, influential, and feared in equal measure, Mark had made powerful enemies, though he was careless enough to ignore them. He never imagined that someone so ordinary could be watching his every move. For months, Daniel had followed Mark's routine like a shadow. He knew when Mark left the house, when he returned, when the office staff were gone, and even the times his personal security guard took breaks. Daniel was patient, calculating, and quiet. Each day he refined his plan, making notes in a small journal that he kept hidden in his apartment. Every detail mattered. Every second counted. The plan was simple but brutal in its perfection. Mark would be eliminated, the evidence erased, and no one would ever suspect Daniel. The night arrived. Rain poured relentlessly, masking the sounds of Daniel's careful steps. He wore gloves, dark clothes, and a mask that left no trace of his identity. Entering Mark's house had been the easiest part. The door, left slightly ajar by the careless man, allowed Daniel in without a single forced entry. Inside, the house was silent except for the soft hum of the refrigerator and the muted tick of the wall clock. He moved swiftly, with the calm precision of a surgeon. One shot, aimed at the chest, and Mark collapsed silently onto the expensive rug, leaving behind no scream, no struggle, no warning. Daniel cleaned the scene methodically. He wiped every surface, collected the bullet, and disposed of it in a remote location. His clothes, soaked from the rain, were burned along with the gloves he had worn. He left no fingerprints, no traces of DNA, and no motive. When the police arrived the next morning, they were baffled. Security cameras showed nothing, neighbors claimed to hear nothing, and the murder weapon was missing. Everything about the crime screamed of professionalism. Daniel had pulled off the impossible, a flawless murder. Yet, perfection is a fragile illusion. Even the most careful plan can unravel because of the tiniest, most overlooked habit. A junior detective, reviewing the case, noticed something odd in the crime scene photos. Mark's dog was barking in a room where the door was supposed to be closed. That small detail raised questions. How could a dog react if no one had entered? Then another clue emerged. A coffee mug was left on the table, still warm, with a single fingerprint visible. It was a small, almost invisible mark that Daniel had failed to consider. In his obsession with perfection, he had forgotten one simple thing. He had made coffee without gloves. That one slip, that tiny oversight, was all the evidence the detectives needed. Daniel was arrested the following morning. He didn't resist. He didn't deny his presence, and he remained eerily calm during questioning. When confronted with the fingerprint, he simply looked away, expressionless. The detectives were stunned. The crime had been flawless, a textbook example of precision, yet all it took was one small mistake to unravel everything. A lifetime of planning had been undone by a single moment of carelessness. In the days that followed, the story spread. Newspapers called it the perfect crime turned tragic by one careless act. Experts analyzed Daniel's methods and marveled at his attention to detail. Yet, the moral of the story was clear. No matter how meticulous a plan, human error is always possible. And sometimes,